With Marvel Rivals continuing to rise in popularity after the release of Season 2, the constant flow of new content is so refreshing to see for a live service hero shooter. The Battle Pass has plenty of excellent skins and is easy to progress, and with new skins coming in pairs every few weeks, there's plenty of skin ideas people have been pitching that they want added. So, I figured I'd throw my hat into the ring. I've been reading more Marvel comics recently, and I've seen a fair few older designs that I thought were pretty cool. So cool, in fact, that I'd happily pay to play as them in Rivals, since I've only bought like 3 skins outside of the Battle Pass. You know I couldn't resist this strange skin. We are eating so good even after all those nerfs. Keep in mind that my comic knowledge is still a little limited, so if I sound uninformed or just spread misinformation online, I am not doing so on purpose. Or maybe I am. How would you be able to tell? But without further ado, here is my list of 1 skin that I think should be added for each character in Marvel Rivals. We'll be going in alphabetical order, so starting off we have Adam Warlock, and the Warlock has had a lot of different designs as the comics have gone on. Different combinations of red, black, and gold, sometimes sporting a prominent lightning bolt and sometimes looking kind of naked. But the design I chose is actually kind of niche, and I wouldn't be surprised if many people haven't seen it before. The Marvel Duel design for Adam Warlock is my favourite from the ones I've seen. The red and black mesh together really well with the gold accents, and his fiery hair really stands out. Plus, I love the Doctor Strange-esque high collar. I think it'd make for a banger skin design with another long flowing red and black cape. I know a lot of people would probably prefer Adam's original design with the red cloak and skull-shaped clasp, and while I love his hair in this version, I don't like the wrestler belt and the red undies he has on for some reason. Either way, there's plenty of options, but it'd be nice for NetEase to pull from other Marvel games, like they did for Venom Cyan and Orange skins from Marvel vs. Capcom. For Black Panther, I have to go with the Civil War design. Maybe it's my nostalgia for that movie coming out, but I just think it's so goddamn cool. The silver accents all across the face and body create such a striking design. It meshes so well with the black and makes it seem like both a fit and functional suit for protecting T'Challa. The facial accents in particular always act like an expression of anger, and frankly, I'd be scared if I'm playing support and I see this running at me.
So I ask you, as both warrior and king, how long do you think you can keep your friends safe from me?
I always like this much more than the suit he has in his own movie. And even though T'Challa has had a ton of different costumes over the years, I still can't get over how perfect this one would be. Black Widow has had a ton of changes to her design over the years, and we don't talk about that first one. But my choice would have to be the Ultimates 8 design, because this Matrix outfit just looks so cool and fits her personality very well. Hawkeye has the same outfit, but for some reason he looks like Shawn Ashmore here. Iceman confirmed? Anyway, I feel like the discreet black of the whole outfit would be one note without the red of Natasha's hair, so it creates a much more striking contrast, and I'm just a sucker for that cool ass jacket. Cap's my main, so I had to deliberate on this for a while, because it has to be something cool, thematic, and something that I'd wear in-game. While most people would say his classic outfit, I think that's a little uncreative, so I'm going with his Ultimates #1 World War II design, giving him the original shaped shield and more tactical, strappy design with an actual helmet. It's much grittier and ready for combat, and I think it just shows Cap's character perfectly, which is kind of the idea of the Ultimate Universe, for the most part. The colours are awesome, and I think NetEase could have a real good thing going with it. Maybe even playing a different sound with Cap bullets, like a war horn, or a note from an American war song. I was going to say The Last Post, but apparently that's a British thing. Today I learned. The dagger design that I've chosen is actually what inspired me to make this video, as I was recently reading the run it was from and I loved it. And it made me much more interested in Cloak and Dagger's characters, and I think it also kind of fixes the issue of people confusing her for Sue or Emma Frost. So I've chosen the Marvel Knights rendition of Dagger. I love her fluffy white hair, and I think it works so perfectly with the character. She is so pretty. And originally I thought that the outfit was too much and would need to be changed, but we got that Emma Frost skin.
Oh my goodness!
So I doubt it. Adding a glow to her crescent moon would also be awesome. Maybe if she's ulting or if she's currently healing. Cloak in this run, however, is pretty much just the same as his Rivals adaptation. And he is in a lot of other runs, since his character design doesn't lead to much difference, but if I had to choose another design for him, I think Marvel Battle Alliance is a cool thing going, with purple accentuating his cloak, lightening his eyes, and giving him those striking gloves and cool clasp. making the inside of his cloak less of a hole and more of a gaping void of black to those looking in. I think due to the nature of Doctor Strange's character, being a master wizard who eventually becomes the Sorcerer Supreme, he has to have banger designs. It's going to be extremely hard to top the Multiverse of Madness zombie Strange skin, but sometimes you just have to keep it simple. So I'm going with the Defenders issue number 4 Strange. I love the sleekness of the black and red, and especially the trails of red ribbon that come from the one tied around his waist. They're so striking combined with the red gloves, and that handlebar mustache too. Makes me want to dance with the devil. Or play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth to hear Danny Trejo's boss theme again. To each their own. Either way, Steven has a ton of great designs, and I think this would be a welcome addition. Emma Frost is potentially the most stunning character in all of Marvel, so she obviously has a legion of glamorous designs that NetEase can, and probably will, pull from. It's been leaked that swimsuits are coming to Rivals, and we've seen one tease of a future Squirrel Girl beach outfit that actually looks pretty cute. But if and when Emma gets one, she is probably going to be showing even more than her X-Force skin. I think the people who want a classic design are valid, but I wanted to go for something a little different. So I chose the Dawn of X Emma Frost. The solely white and gold colour scheme is absolutely perfect for Emma's personality, and her golden X necklace is what really brings it together with the fur coat. I think she looks like an absolute boss in this design. Like a flick of her wrist could get someone fired, or she could just chokeslam them and throw them out the window. Depends on your work environment. Groot is an interesting one, because his designs are both very similar and vastly different. I think you can't change too much about Groot because of the overall idea behind him, but I'd love to see a more horror-based adaptation of him, with a much less friendly face, and more sharp edges, a gaping mouth, and making him look like a real monster. So the design I think I'd pull from is from Groot Volume 1, Issue 1. I think the accentuation on the more slim, monstrous design makes it stand out from the rest. I also really love the sharp edges on his mouth. It really makes it look like it's just gonna stab someone with his teeth at any moment. And hey, anything is better than that original design. What were they thinking? Look, I know people want purple Hawkeye, but I've never liked his design in the comics. I think it looks goofy and weird.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And Hawkeye just being a guy is always so much cooler. That being said, I think using the purple version of Ultimate Hawkeye would go extremely hard. Some of his appearances depict the outfit as black, but either way, the ski mask with red goggles, head mark that he absolutely stole from Bullseye, and the weird faces on his knees and elbows, they activate something innate in my primordial lizard brain, like I'm Harriet Dubois with all the voices in my head agreeing that this is the hardest shit ever. Inject this into my fucking veins. Surprisingly, Hela hasn't actually had many design changes over the years. Her colour scheme and general depictions have been remarkably consistent, and maybe that's proof that she is perfection. Either way, if I had my way, we'd absolutely be getting X Factor Volume 1 Hela in here. The luscious green dress paired with her neck scarf and glasses of the same colour just ooze style, and her hat tops it off with an air of mysteriousness, perfect for the Queen of Hell. I think she should be given the chance to dominate the runway as well as the battlefield. Although I bet NetEase are more likely to give us something like this. Okay, yeah, you caught me. I wouldn't complain, but let's move on. I'm sure there are plenty of different Hulk variants that people want added, but with Joe Fixit being in the Season 2 Battle Pass, I only have one skin in mind. The Maestro. You could make the argument that Maestro could be added as a hero, but I feel like different Hulk variants being heroes that aren't vanguards wouldn't make a lot of sense. So chances are, they'll stick with making him a skin. Anyway, his design is simple, but I've always thought it just oozes aura. They could even give him the standard outfit for his hero form, but then rip off his shirt in the monster form. Hulk skins giving us 3 forms worth of skins is honestly super cool, and I can't wait to see more for him that aren't just the punk skin. I don't understand why anyone likes this. I'm sorry, it's probably my least favorite skin in the game. Actually, no. Piss Captain America is the worst skin in the game. But that I have an ironic love for Piss Captain America, but that's for another day. For old Johnny, I'd like to see his Fantastic Four Volume 365 formal suit from the cover. Most of the time, he's depicted as basically just a human fireball and you can't really see his clothes, but the way Rivals has been doing it is pretty damn cool. I do think his outfits don't stand out too much though, and giving him a full-on suit that isn't on fire would just look incredible. The blue and white colours contrasting with his fiery orange and reds will also look so cool. However, it will still not make me react any differently to seeing him hovering above me. That's right, I am a Human Torch hater. And by hater, I mean I ban him on sight. And it makes me so much happier to actually play games without having to look up and see him just shaking around like a flying orange gremlin. Trust me, it's follow my teachings. Always ban Human Torch, always ban Namor, and your life will be so much better. Following on from Johnny, his older sister Sue might have had the most design changes over the years, at least from what I've seen. There are a ton of different Fantastic Four suit designs they could use, with different types of blue or white, but I think going for a more casual lab coat design would be really sleek for Susie, like the one from the wedding special. They could keep her hair short like this or make it more of a bob for the Rivals design. Either way, I think it'd be nice to accentuate Sue's intelligence, rather than her. Iron Fist is still a little difficult to pick designs from because the one we have in Rivals is Lin Lei, who is still pretty recent and hasn't had many design changes. The most iconic Iron Fist is still, of course, Danny Rand, and I don't care, give me Immortal Iron Fist. I don't care if the Iron Fist Battle Pass is similar. I want the exact Immortal Iron Fist. It may be my nostalgia, but I've always wanted that gold bandana. And it's one of Danny's most iconic designs. I'm sure he won't mind if Lynn steals it. Iron Man has endless potential for skins. After all, Tony has made a ton of suits over the years, and most of them are stuck to the basics of his iconic red and yellow design. So we have to go in the opposite direction, while still trying to not look like Supreme Iron Man, since he already exists. Unfortunately. And after saying the ice armor from Avengers Volume 831, I mean, come on! The design is so cool! Pun intended. The colder theme and white and blue just combine together to create such a striking image, with blades and wires covering the entire suit. Seeing this flying at Mach speed towards you would definitely scare the living daylights out of me. And Maximum Pulse, I am vacating the premises. Jeff is perfect, and needs no skins. Okay, fine. Jeff hasn't had many different outfits because he is an animal. But we've got to get his beach fit at some point. The snorkel and floaty are enough for me. It does make Jeff even cuter. But hiding under that adorable exterior is a devil who wants to watch the world burn in chaos. Elden Ring reference. Or the average retail worker. I don't know, take your pick. In fact, what's the difference? Loki changes his appearance more than the weather, but we love him for that. God forbid a man has hobbies. Anyway, I want Lady Loki. Now. Preferably E-Call from the comics, but I don't know, Sylvie's fine, I guess. Do I think this is a likely addition? No. They'd have to revamp all of Loki's voice lines. Do I care? No. Not only would it show Loki's absolutely based gender fluidity, but Lady Loki is absolutely gorgeous and always slays in any of her stories. This is my request, and especially have her wear the helmet with one horn broken. I've always really liked the design for parallelism between her and the usual Loki. Please, Netties, please, Netties, please, Netties, please, Netties. Luna Snow is still a pretty new and niche character, so she doesn't have many choices of designs to choose from. But considering that she's a Nettie's original, they may as well pull from the comic she's been in. Tiger Division Volume 7 does have a cool jumpsuit for her to wear, and I think the cover is a really cool idea balancing blue and pink colours on either side. Highlighting that alongside her heterochromia could make for a really cool outfit focusing on the more tactical side of Luna, rather than most of the skins we've got which focus on her musical celebrity side. Not that I mind that, of course. It's still a really interesting angle towards it, and it brings out a lot more colour to the character. Magic is a character that surprises me, because why the hell is she not more popular? Gothgale becomes Queen of Limbo and fights with a giant sword and can turn into a demon at will. How is everyone not at least a little interested in her? But anyway, Magic designs have had a lot of different representations through her comic careers. I did think that a casual outfit from the Midnight Suns game was really cute and considered putting it on here. But I really, really like her design in the Midnight Suns comic run, combining more demonic aspects, and especially that striking red in the horns and throughout the outfit. God, I think it creates a different flavor of Magic Skin that would absolutely sell. Despite Magneto's outfits being relatively consistent with his iconic armor and especially helmet, he does have a variety of different color schemes compared to his usual red and purple, or the rival silver and red. I personally think we have to look no further than Dawn of X Magneto. It's perfect. Black and silver is just a gorgeous color scheme, and it shows off so much of Magneto's aura. Combine that with a belt being the only thing to break the color scheme. Oh yeah, this would be popular. You can even add more electrical effects working on his attacks and body for that extra pizzazz. I didn't take a lot of time to think about which Magneto skin to add because as soon as I saw this, I knew it was the one. There's really no contest. Mantis's lore is very confusing, so please bear with me. But she wears this blue outfit with white accents and accompanying white gloves in the comics on a few occasions that I think looks really pretty. It's similar to her MCU outfit in games, since that is based on the Guardians outfit that was used in the comics with a darker shade of blue and crimson accents rather than white. But I find this color scheme combined with a green shade of skin has a much higher contrast, and it makes it even more elegant. I would adore playing it like this, even if I had to sacrifice wearing the Flora skin. Man, Mantis really has a lot of good skins so far, even if she doesn't get that many. I hope that changes in the future though, because she should be a lot more popular. And she's really fun. I've been playing a lot more Mantis recently as support. I kind of didn't want to for a while because I thought that she didn't give off enough healing, but that's a story for another time anyway. But Mr. Fantastic, part of me wants to have him wear a lab coat similar to Sue's outfit that I pitched. But I can't resist the Future Foundation skin. I've always loved its design when I've seen it, and Reed pulls it off so much better than the rest of the four. It's a very simple change-up, but I do like the breath of fresh air the white and black add compared to the base white and blue. Netties could even put their own spin on it in some way, giving it more black accents or changing his hair to be more futuristic, I suppose. Either way, this is a steal to add, and I would very much enjoy bouncing on it while wearing it. Moon Knight is my baby boy, and I love him dearly. However, to be honest, I don't think there's many options to add for him. People are quick to ask for a classic Moon Knight skin, but ultimately all it does is make his mask and clothes under his coat black without any body armor. I thought about adding the shadow suit that he wore once when he was on a stealth mission saving hostages with the Avengers, but it wouldn't be as cool as his black skins in the game, so I decided to take the most deep-cut appearance possible and went with the 2019 Moon Knight Annual Pirate Moon Knight. It was basically a part of Mark's own Mooniverse. This one is solely for me. I love pirates. Goro Majima brought that part out of me that had been dwelling in there for many years, since I hadn't rewatched Pirates of the Caribbean since I was a child. Mark can do the same. For everyone else, they could use Hunter's moon outfit, I guess. While technically he is a different character, let's be real, Netties won't add him at any point. His powers aren't anything special compared to Mark, but I do like the outfit at least. It'd be pretty damn cool to have an unhooded Moon Knight, even if he is dumbass. And the hair looks incredible. Namor has had a surprisingly large amount of designs in his career, mostly due to being created a very long time ago. Even if they hadn't fully figured out his personality yet, it did give us the iconic panel of him agreeing that humans make great pizza. Uncommon Namor W. Personally, I'd have to choose his Uncanny X-Men suit. I think it shows off enough of his pecs and personality to be both unique and cool enough, not only fit in the game, but sell on top of that. Man, I love the scales etched into his blue jacket. And the red X belt adds this little splash that ties everything together since the rest of the outfit is so blue. Still better than whatever Aquaman's wearing though. For Penny, I tried. I really tried to come up with a different design for Penny, but Spider has to change too. And despite the fact that there's probably some niche outfit I can grab for Penny, the mech is pretty consistent, so we're pulling from Peak Baby into the Spider-Verse Penny with the original mech design, or at least something inspired by it, since it definitely doesn't have the same hitbox as the current mech, and I don't really like the Penny outfits in the game already. Even the default, because wearing a tactical skin-tight jumpsuit doesn't really feel like it fits her personality. And she's always been depicted in the comics as wearing more casual clothes because, well, why wouldn't she? It's not like she needs to fight and keep her figure tight. So I prefer the anime schoolgirl-esque design they were originally going with. It shows off more of her attitude and distinguishes her personality from everyone else wearing a jumpsuit. Please, Gerard. Please give me something. Umbrella Academy Season 4 sucked. You're not doing MCR 5 anytime soon. Can I at least have one good penny skin? Psylocke has had an infamously complicated lifespan in the comics. At this point, 3 different people have taken up the title, with the most iconic being the most controversial. And the most gooned over, apparently, but let's ignore that. I'm quite happy that we're sticking with Psy, though. She adds her own twist to the formula while still incorporating older elements that are really cool. That being said, I have to choose Uncanny Avengers Psylocke, which was probably a Betsy outfit, but to be honest, I have no idea. I think it's a great midpoint between the skimpy leotard Psylocke usually wears and a more modest and formal design. It gives her a badass battlesuit of purple and red, and shows she's ready for business, not to be a sexy model. Thank God. Rocket has had depictions of being a chaos gremlin, a sympathetic sweetheart with a cold exterior, and a bit more of a wizened member of the Guardians. But none of them have given him an opportunity to be cool. As cute as he can be, as funny as he can be. There's nothing that's allowed him to be stylish. And that's where Rocket Volume 1-5 comes in, baby. Give him some drip and make him look like he's about to rip his shirt off in one movement to fight Kazuma Kiryu. Yeah. Frankly, I just want Rocket to look dapper, and this skin would give me exactly that. And it would probably make the fairies happy. So, you get millions from that. I mean, the Royal Programmers, apparently. A lot of Wanda's designs in the game at the moment stick with her more modern and breathable clothes, but one design in particular interests me the most. The one that I think is the most glamorous and would be so easy to sell to Rivals fans. Princess Wanda Magnus. That glorious headpiece of gold and jewels is just so breathtaking. Even if they'd have to scale it back to just being on the back of her head and hair, it would be worth it. And the long red dress would make Wanda just stunning to see in game. Even if she wouldn't be modeled after Liz Olsen, which is one of the reasons the Multiverse of Madness skin of hers is currently my favorite. And if you look into this image too, you can see that her, presumably mother, in this scene also has a similar dress, but with a different color. So if they wanted to move away from every skin being a different shade of red, they could try something like that, but I do understand sticking with it because she's the Scarlet Witch. It's kind of in the name. Good old Pete has legitimately infinite designs that NetEase could add with the gargantuan popularity of the character and his variants. I mean, they made 3.5 movies about it. But 2 in particular stick in my mind. That's right, I'm breaking the rules here. Spider-Man Noir is just a love letter to the entire genre, and I would adore having him as a skin. The hat, the overcoat, everything in black and white and grey. I would be sad the voice lines wouldn't change to Nicolas Cage, but it's a small price to pay for salvation. Alternatively, the more popular edition would be Scarlet Spider. Yes, I know PlayStation has their own Scarlet Spider skin, but look at this man. Kane is #not my Scarlet Spider. Give me the low quality red suit with the blue hoodie. That's my goal right there. Do Ben justice. Don't let him be a laughingstock, like he was in Spider-Verse. I still adore that movie though. I'm not dissing it. I really hope Beyond comes out. I'm so scared. Honestly, realizing it now, this was the Squirrel Girl design that I was originally exposed to. It was the one all the Spider-Man animated shows I remember used, and I think the Lego games? But I'm pulling it from the Great Lakes Avengers. I actually really like the fair accentuations in her outfit, and it looks a lot more built for a superhero. More serious, and shows that Doreen means business. Although her character never really does that. Maybe that's how she beat Doctor Doom and Galactus, through the power of silliness and cartoon physics. I should learn from that. I should also defeat my enemies with silliness and cartoon physics. I will place an anvil above their head. I will make them step on a rake. I will place banana peels in front of their doorways. That's right, I'm devious. Giving her the darker hair color and different style would also add more variety, because honestly, she is so goddamn pretty. I think this is one of the rare times where black and brown actually mix well together. Alright, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. Give me Cowboy Star-Lord now. I found out this was a thing so long ago and just immediately fell in love. Not only does it fit Quill's character so well, but It's so cool. Space cowboy with rocket boots. Sign me the fuck up. The outfit will be awesome, with his glowing red eye under the brim of his hat and the wide poncho covering him like a spaghetti western. They could even play a classic high noon sound effect when he ults. God, it's so peak, please. Netties, if any of you are for some reason watching this incredibly low quality video, first off, thanks, but there's many better creators, give them a chance. Second off, please give us Cowboy Star-Lord. And let's pretend he's not at all related to any other hero shooter that has a cowboy in it. I know a lot of X-Men fans really want Classic Storm, and I do too, but I like pitching my own ideas, so I decided to go with something more grandeur and elegant. And there lies Black Panther Volume 418's Wedding Dress Storm. My god, she is beautiful. If I saw this thing floating above me, I would convince myself that it's an angel descending from the heavens. T'Challa would probably make me tremble before burst for staring, though. But I think the rose gold colour is immaculate, and it's brought out so much by the gold and blue colour scheme in Storm's numerous forms of jewellery. Making her dress flare at the end and trail off in her windstream as she floats would also be so cool to look at. I feel like I'm just saying everything is cool, but I'm really running out of adjectives. I really love this design, and it is such a gorgeous depiction of a classic character. Not enough people like Storm in Marvel Rivals. I really need to see more people who are just huge Storm superfans. Punisher is a man who rarely changes his outfit, both in a design change way, and also in the fact that I don't think he washes his clothes very much, but let's ignore that. He's committed to having that skull front and center, so naturally we're going with the skin that puts it in the most important place. And adding swimsuit Punisher, baby, it's just a peak male form. Nobody's gonna top. I mean, we're adding the 2012 Ricker Run Frank, right? Yeah, definitely. The more disheveled facial hair really works with him and gives him a sense of age. The smeared skull also looks a lot more stylized than the usual representation, and I think it makes him stand out a lot more than the other designs. Especially the ones I consider for this video. They were very samey. Although, there is something about the hairdo and that missing eye that makes me wonder, has he become invisible? The Thing doesn't wear many outfits, although I did consider his future Foundation clothes, but honestly, why even bother giving him an outfit? When fear itself thing exists, this molten rock creature, that would be absolutely terrifying if you saw it charge your backline, not to mention screaming about how it's going to clobber you. The hammer can be thrown on its back, and while an ideal way would have it pull it out for the ult, I doubt they changed the animation by doing that. But either way, the darkened colours with light accents like molten rock are just so awesome. I understand why people have wanted this design to be adapted. It is absolutely perfect, and it is what Ben Grimm mains deserve. I salute you, Thing mains. You are the backbone of this community. Thor has been depicted in so many different ways. Old, young, ruler of Asgard, defender of Midgard, Colosseum fighter. But my favourite that hasn't been added to Rivals yet is Unworthy Thor. Not only does it show off his huge, rippling personality, but it also makes him look so effortlessly cool. The red cloak over one shoulder, clasped in silver. The shortened beard that is showing his age and wisdom, but remains neatened, representing his focus and will to not let himself go. This is a Thor who understands the battlefield, and I would happily pay to play as him. There is a huge amount of symbiotes to pull from for Venom, since the design doesn't really change too much, discounting the same symbiote bonding with different people, like Agent Venom, but it's really no contest when it comes to choosing. Agent Venom could be an entire character, so I'm going with Ancient Venom. If I see this as a support player, I am screaming for help. It's like some kind of ethereal entity in the shape of a tentacle creature. The red swirl replacing the face, it's doing so much of the heavy lifting. Alan Wake taught me that spirals have ends, and that's a good thing. But frankly, I don't want to see this end. I want to get the hell out of here. The angry red vein-like tentacles throughout it also give the sense of a body being made of tendons and arteries like an inside-out human, which I'm sure I will be if I spend more than 2 seconds near the thing. it would be such a frighteningly cool addition to the game. Bucky isn't exactly a man known for his outfit changes, but he's had some cool fits over the years to avoid him just being military muck jacket man. Let's go with his Thunderbolts design. I like the looser feel to his clothes. They let him show off the power of his vibranium arm, since guns aren't the only thing he's good with. The eye mask is also very simple, but quite effective, showing us the whites of his eyes in a striking way, very reminiscent of Nightwing or Batman or Robin. But honestly, I love the red accents on the emblem on his shoulder. It's such a cool touch that makes him stand out so much more. I think red and black color scheme is just one of the most effortless things you can really do to make a design cool. It's something innate in people's brain. Like, look at the most popular shiny Pokemon. You've got like shiny Greninja, shiny Charizard, shiny Rayquaza. It's alright, it is a little done to death, let's be real. We have one more character left, and before we get into that, I just want to say that if you've been enjoying this video, please subscribe. I try to put a lot of effort into these videos, and frankly, I adore making content. I've only really talked about Rivals and Pokemon so far, but I hope to branch out to shows, movies, and more eventually. Thank you so much, and let's finish things. Finally, we have Logan, and our favourite Canadian goblin has had his own share of good and bad outfits throughout his many, many years alive. While I do agree that getting the Weapon X outfit would be pretty badass, I just love the New Mutants design so much. There's something so sleek about the black and yellow colour scheme, the X emblem stands out, and I'm just in love with the powerful simplicity. It's a great mix of casual and badass while showing Wolverine's personality with the open button jacket and tight tactical pants. He's ready to fuck people up and he's not letting anything get in his way. I'd love to play on with this fit on, and I hope you agree. It would embody the true experience of being as crazy and bloodthirsty as Wolverine is when he fights. So, that's my list. Sorry if some sections seem less detailed than others. I had to go through a lot of comic history to find these designs, and some I'm a lot less knowledgeable on. But I have been enjoying my own comic journey, even if I've only really read about Mark so far. But hey, at least it inspired me to make this ranking. But there's plenty of other skins I'd love to see added to Marvel Rivals, so if you like this video, let me know, and I'll consider doing a part 2. I've got a lot more videos planned for Rivals, so subscribe if you want to stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.